I'm in a particular situation, I'm feeling a certain way. And I know the way I'm feeling is not right, or it's confusing me, or I'm hesitant, or something is wrong, things are not going the way they should. And then I isolate, I have this problem. And then I go to the philosophy and say, well, according to the philosophy, I shouldn't have this problem because this problem is getting in the way between my relationship with myself and my guru, and myself and Krishna, or both. And a lot of times we opt to the philosophy, which is the ideal. And then we try to elevate ourselves to the ideal, which is good, but it only becomes a problem when that's not real for us, when we actually can't do it. Because in trying to elevate ourselves to the ideal, we avoid the reality of our situation. Maybe even pretend that the reality is not there, or pretend that I can transcend it, or pretend that I've healed it when I've actually just suppressed it or ignored it, or transcended by my strong sadhana temporarily, but it's still there. So it's very important when making decisions how to go forward in our bhakti, whether it's adjusting our sadhana, our service, making various choices about where to go, who is my guru, who to take as Siksha Guru, if I want to do that. We want to look at these realities, and even though we look at the reality and say, I don't feel like I should make a decision based on the reality. My point is, you have to make a decision based on the reality, unless you can purify it or transcend it. Because why? Because it's real, it actually exists. And so once we acknowledge the reality, and say, oh, I'm like this, I shouldn't be like this, but I am. And that's hard for some of us, because when we realize I shouldn't be this way, we want to not be that way. But my point is, but if we are that way, that's what's real. And then we don't want to make a decision on something that's not real. We have to make a decision based on what is real. Now, if that problem weren't there, maybe I'd make another decision, a better decision, or a decision that would be more in line with Shastra, more of the right thing. But because this reality is there, the right thing may be the wrong thing, and the wrong thing may be the right thing. Because the wrong thing, which is maybe a lower, a compromise, becomes the source of me going up, whereas the right thing, which is higher, could be the cause of me going down because I can't follow it. So that's important. I hope you follow that. Is that confusing? This is what Shastra says, I should do this, but I'm here, and I can't do it yet. But I want to try, and I feel bad that I'm here, and I know this is right. And when I try to do this, I'm neglecting this reality, I'm not dealing with it. And if I deal with this reality, I'll have to make some compromise or adjustment so that I can get up here. And if I try to shoot for this reality, like when I was young, I used to do high jumping. So you have a pole, and then you run, and you jump over. And if it's too high, what happens? You crash on the pole. So then you make it lower so you can jump over it, and then you make it a little higher. So you have to adjust it to where you can jump. And if it's too high, you keep failing. So you get it, you jump, and then you get it higher, you jump. So sometimes the instruction's here, it's too high, but you know you should do it, so you adjust it here. And then you can follow this, because that's what's real for you. So if we can accept that and follow that, then we'll make the right decisions, and then from there we'll progress. Because we have to remember, the goal is to progress. The goal is not to do what's ideal if it doesn't help us progress, because we're not qualified yet to do what's ideal. We're not on that level. Now you might say, are you saying don't chant 16 rounds or don't follow principles? I'm not speaking practically at all. But it's true, sometimes when someone tries to do something that they're not able to do presently, it becomes a problem, and they go down instead of up. So yeah, you should chant 16, follow the principles, you should do so many things. But when we're not capable and qualified, sometimes trying to do that becomes a problem. And it becomes worse for our spiritual life. So I would never say don't chant 16 and follow 4 principles. But in some cases, and sometimes we've seen people become agitated, disturbed, because they're not ready. And it has, it's counteractive. So that's the principle. What is ideal? What's real? Deal with what's real. From there you'll progress to the ideal. If you try to get the ideal and avoid the real, you generally have difficulty, unless you're super strong, super determined, super powerful, super, you can do anything. You just put your mind to it. Doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what's going on inside, you just do it. If that's who you are, yeah, go for it. Go for the top, because you'll reach it. But for most people, that's not true. They have to deal with what's real and progress from there. Hare Krishna.